And Fisk will lead it off, has a single and has walked twice. Has been on base 3 times. Actually was safe on a 4th play. Been retired once tonight on a bouncing ball to short in the 7th.
50 years ago, the world witnessed one of the most iconic home run moments in baseball history. Carlton Fisk frantically waving his home run fair to give the Red Sox a dramatic victory in Game 6 of the World Series against the Reds. It was one of the first times a camera had really stayed on a player and captured their emotions, rather than simply following the action. It was fun. It was different. It connected with fans watching around the world, likely waving that same ball one way or the other. And going forward, that shot made it standard to keep cameras on players to catch their expressions or celebrations while on the field of play. The Fisk hand-waving moment changed sports TV broadcasting forever. It allowed us to see Kirk Gibson's fist bump or Mark McGwire missing first base. But what if I told you that the shot of Fisk was caught by accident? It wasn't something done on purpose. It was actually the product of something non-human getting in the way.
It was a rat.
The Green Monster had rats. Lots of rats. They were crawling all around him.
Yes, a rat. A furry, curious rat changed how we would watch baseball on television for the rest of our lives.
My connection to them was that, yes, I was a logger for that particular evening. I was not in a truck. Let me be candid and straightforward about all that. But I did obviously hear everything that was going on. And I did also later on have worked with all those guys. So I had all these stories. I asked all the questions about it.
The story goes, on October 21st, 1975, in Game 6 of the World Series, NBC cameraman Lou Gerard was smack in the middle of a decades-long career. And he was spending the night inside of the Green Monster, set up to film batters and follow the balls wherever they were hit.
The story is legend now, and again, and I asked enough people about it, I'd heard enough about it through the years. So, from people who were there, who were in the moment, and all the stories are pretty consistent as to Lou Gerard saw a rat. He didn't know, he was kind of froze, and that's what they got.
Tied at 6 after midnight in the 12th inning, Carlton Fisk strolled up to the plate. The New England-born boy, the gritty, hard-nosed fan-favorite catcher known as Pudge. A movie-esque scene was unfolding as the Fenway Park crowd rose to their feet, hungry for a win, a Game 7, and a chance at their first World Series title in 58 years. Gerard, though, was quietly focused on the task at hand, inside the dank, dark outfield wall. His camera was aimed at Fisk, but it wouldn't stay there for long, or it wasn't supposed to. He was supposed to pan off to the left fielder as he chased down the fly ball.
That was the first isolate of a player. They would isolate plays. They would isolate, like angles, right? Gerard was probably in the right spot when he was on the batter, but he was supposed to pan off that and go somewhere else.
But there was a little, well, not so little, problem occurring right at the same moment, right inside that same wall. And Gerard would not be able to move his camera away from Fisk.
The Green Monster had rats. Lots of rats. So at that point, they were crawling all around him. There was a rat, but there was also a metal pole that was in his way. So between the rat and the pole, he's like, well, I can't really get a shot of the ball. Let me see if I can, let me try and get a shot of Fisk. And I believe it was Harry Coyle that was directing at the time. And he said something to Harry Coyle about it, and Coyle said, go for it.
It was prior to the home run. I mean, he saw it, and it was moving around. It was around his feet, and he was concerned. It was a rat, and this one was a particularly big one. So, it was disconcerting to him. It was distracting to him, and when the ball got hit, it was really playing around with his foot, apparently. And he decided he was just going to stay there, as opposed to try to punt and peck and be someplace else. He decided, I'm going to stay there. I don't have an option right now. I'm staying right there.
There it goes, the long drive. If it stays fair, home run.
The Fisk home run replays came flying into the NBC truck in the back of Fenway Park. Director Harry Coyle was quickly deciding which one should be sent out on the broadcast. And then, eventually, he saw one that caught his eye more than any other.
It was about the 5th replay. after we had shown 4. But that's not anybody's fault. That was just what was going on in the truck at that time. And fortunately, they found it and they saw it and they aired it. It would have been awesome to air it first, but they didn't, and it doesn't matter. They had it. The whole idea, and they wouldn't have had it if not for Lou Gerard and a rat.
The replay of Fisk waving his arms was aired everywhere and would be for the next 50 years, inspiring all those other caught-on-camera reaction moments from players on the field, inspiring grown men to mimic the movement in their living rooms, or kids to do the same on a local wiffle ball field. Gerard, who passed away in 2013, stayed pretty humble about the moment.
To him, it was, this is my job, this is what I do. I guess it really wasn't until afterwards that everyone realized how big a deal it was.
But Gerard's footage has lived on as a model for how to film baseball on TV. Gerard, and of course, his rodent sidekick.